Okay, it's Christmas time. It's time to tuck into some more maltier style beers. So up next, we got a really cool beer, a beer that I really like from White Hag Brewing Company, a Fleadh Red IPA. Welcome back to Views and Brews. I am Brendan, and this is the White Hag Brewing Company. It happens to be my favourite brewery in Ireland, although there's a lot of people hot on its heels. This is a 6.8% red IPA, so you're going to get a lot of very interesting roasted, toasted caramel sort of malts playing on the hops. Let's see whether they've bittered this beer or whether they've gone with the late hops edition. The great thing about White Hag is that they now have such a huge range of beers, and they're doing a lot of them in these dinky little 330ml cans, but they're four cans for €10. So you can't ask for better than that. I'm going to crack the beer open and let's talk about it. I got a really nice glass, which I got back from their festival, the Hagstravaganza festival last year, when all the pubs and all the festivals were on. This is unmistakably a red to the eye. Not dark ruby red, but edging in that direction. It's moved away from amber and it's properly red. So I know that there's going to be some roast malt in here. Let's just give it a bit of a swill up there. So there are some, straight away on the nose of this beer, there are some unmistakable tropical style hops. So I know that I'm going to get like a very interesting sort of malty roast and tropical thing going on together. How does that play out? We will see. Now, on the front of this, it's called the Fleadh IPA. It's pronounced F-L-A-A, Fleadh, but Fleadh Ceol is a really ancient Irish traditional music festival. For those of you who aren't here, I've lived in Tullamore for a good number of years now, and we hosted it, I think, 3 times consecutive years, and it's all of the traditional music and traditional instruments playing from all the incredible musicians all over Ireland gathering in one place. So on the streets and the pubs, in the bars, it's absolutely as you would picture Ireland if you were sort of being like, you know, if you were asking yourself, what is a very Irish scene? Well, the Fleadh Ceol very much is. But it does say on the back, I'll just quickly read this for a second. Our Fleadh Ale is a celebration of legendary festivals in Irish mythological society. A Fleadh is an ancient Irish cultural event of music, dance, story, and song. So story is pretty cool in there as well. Our red ale is a symphony of complex earthy malts, which is interesting, and fresh forward hops that play the lead in this ensemble. The resulting performance is a seamless combination of fruits and caramel, complemented by a distinctively fresh pine tone. Okay, cool. That's the beer. Let's have a little taste of it. It's a fairly small head, but when you spin it up, it keeps coming back. We've got kind of a decent amount of carbonation, but it's sort of held in stasis almost. It's sort of going around. It's not effervescent to the top, so not heavy carbonation. It's probably quite thick beer. We'll try it. Cheers, Slancher. Very malty. Straight away, it's a really malty beer. Toasted, mired, complex flavors coming from the malt. Kind of like the outer crust of bread is the way I would put it, is how the malt comes out. And then there's like this tinge of roastiness that sort of comes through, but not quite anything like a dark ale, like a a porter or a stout. It's nothing like that. There's just a light twinge of roastiness, and that's how they make the beer red anyway. So I like the malt in it as the first thing, but the hops are, as they say, they're fruity. They're kind of there's sort of like a big fruit salad mixture of hops in here. Let me give it a little go. There's a bitterness, but not a lingering, lasting bitterness. Kind of drops off fairly quickly. I'm sure if I keep drinking the beer and if I had enough of the beer, there's like a earthy bitterness at the background of it. Actually, the earthiness they mention on there is a malt, but the way I get it is probably that sort of dark ashen bit of the roasty bit of a malt, sort of intermelding with the hops. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah, there's bitterness in it, but it's not heavily bittered. And then there's just like this really pleasant fruitiness to the beer. This is one of those beers that's like a no nonsense IPA that has huge amounts of drinkability to it. So not massively high hopped in one particular direction that you can't drink so much of it. So if I went to the bar and bought a pint of that, I could then go back straight after and order another one. It's a drinking beer. You know, some hops in beers, like they demand a lot from you and you need a break from them after the first pint of them. But this is the sort of beer that I could drink several of. I've had this beer a couple of times before, in fairness, and I love White Hag. They can do no wrong in my eyes. This is a nice, tidy little can. That's my view on this brew. If you like this beer, or, you know, if you like White Hag beers, you'll know that, you know, when you go into a shop, they always stock a big selection, you know, and they always put them 4 for 10. So you can just choose a whole bunch of different ones. I got a couple of pastry stouts coming up soon, and that was in the 4 for 10 range too. So great value, great brewery, great beer. Cheers, Slancher. It's on to the next one. Love.